Family, they're new to Baltimore, so I say welcome to Baltimore.
Thank you.
And then also thank you for being in Baltimore, because even though you're new, you're not on the sidelines. You're
Right.
here tonight and speaking out, and so just want to get your basic reaction to what's going on tonight and just your experience so far in Baltimore City as pertains to education. So introduce yourself and just give your reaction.
My name is Ina Akers, and I'm an advocate for excellent public schools. I moved here to Baltimore City to fight for your freedom and challenge schools for our ethnic children and low-income children.
I'm Rory Akers, advocate for public schools, and I'm pretty much like a ground troop with my daughter's school in Montebello. I volunteer a lot there, just try to get the kids to have a better environment and help as much as I can, which in that particular school, they really don't. It seems like most schools, they don't really want your help. They preach that they want the kids to do right, the parents to be involved, and we're everything. We have it all. We have kids, honor roll, well behaved, parents' involvement, but they really don't want that. They have a different plan.
So, what is your reaction to the school board's plan in terms of this transformed Baltimore piece? What's your reaction to all of this?
Well, we have to say that we are absolutely for getting funds that are going to help make the schools better and make the buildings better, but we also want to ensure that they use those funds properly. You know, they have been given allocated funds, and when we look at the facts of, auditors saying that they spent $500,000 on trips to Vegas and expensive hotels, et cetera, when we know for a fact that they've spent money on excessive overtime and personal drivers are getting paid $250,000 more than the governor of Maryland themselves, we have to question what they're going to use that money for. And that is what I have not heard tonight at this forum. We heard people tell us that we need the money. We know you need the money, but we need our leader, who is a CEO, and his board to come together and do the right thing for the children. We need them to use the money properly. But most importantly, I don't want any schools to close, because I know that they're not going in there and giving them what they need first and foremost. There is a bigger, in my opinion, diabolical plan here. And that plan is really to displace African American children, because if they have black teachers and black schools, they don't give them the money. And if they don't have the money, they can't really do all the things they need to do with some sort of social work, psychology work, et cetera, to help these kids that are coming from difficult areas. So what they'll do is they'll displace those kids, have to bus them to a school that doesn't give a rat's, excuse my expression, ass about them, and now they're not getting those leaders that they got from Northwestern and places with great black teachers. They don't want them to have it. Let's just call it what it is. We visited Northwestern because I knew in my heart that they were doing what I thought, which was going to close a school that was great and necessary, and we were blown away by the school. Yes, it had some little small aesthetic things, but they had great programs. We also know they pulled a music program from them. When they know they need music and math go together. We also know that they cut their staff by 20 people, knowing that full class sizes, overcrowded class sizes, contribute to low achievement. So let's look at those key things first, and then let's say, why are they taking the school away? What is their real reason for doing it and putting them in a school that doesn't have the facilities to give them the sports that help make them want to achieve so they can play these sports? There's something diabolical going on, and people need to question that. Yes, they need the money, but let's get the people out that are spending the money so we can get the right people in to spend it properly.
Wow. What would you say in terms of community members who are listening to you right now, who many of them feel exactly like you do? What advice would you give for regular community folk who just live here and want the best for the schools? What advice would you give to people?
I would say don't be afraid of retaliation. Get your spiritual game up, because you're fighting a mighty battle. You have to remember the past, and that this state was a slave state, and that was the most diabolical, wicked scenario ever. For many years, we've been fighting for excellent education or equal education, and they've been fighting us on it. And you have to say, why would they fight us on wanting people to be better? Because they don't want us to excel better and get there quickly. So I would say stand up, go to the board meetings, get on the Board of Education website, look at when the next board meeting is, and get there. Get there in numbers and get your name on the list, because you have to be there before 5:45 to get your name on the list to speak. They only allow 10 people to speak. If you can't get to that one, get to the next one, because Dr. Alonzo gets really stressed out when people show up. But he does have everything staged. He doesn't like real criticism, constructive criticism. He wants to allocate, like, you know, everybody's saying, you're doing a great job, doctor. But guess what? When people are telling these stories like they told tonight with these schools broken, if your school is broken, get in there and tell somebody. Keep telling people. Bring more people. And don't be afraid, because, yes, they're going to retaliate against your child. They're going to try to take things away and make you afraid. They're going to try to stop you from walking forward just like they did in 1920, 1960, etc., etc. So just get courage, stand strong, and get in the church. That's what I would say.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. The
It was a
Akers
pleasure.
family is in Baltimore, and they're bringing that fire.
Yes.
We appreciate your presence.
My pleasure.
Appreciate the perspective.
Thank